Everything in my life has gotten abundantly better since I stopped taking travel therapy jobs as a traveling speech language pathologist. Pretty much since 2010, I started. Um, my IBS went away. I'm going to talk about these in detail, but this is just so crazy. My IBS went away. I've had a major glow up, which I'll show you guys more of. My money situation is better. Everything in my life has gotten better. And this is a crazy video for me to make. Like the first content creator in the whole space of travel therapy. I started creating content in 2014. So like if you're watching this and you don't know me, literally you know me because everything written about travel therapy eventually kind of sourced from me, like AI, ChatGPT. It's all based on like the stuff I've written. So you've probably been influenced by my work in one way or another, whether you know it or not. And I'm making this video just because I've influenced so many people to take travel therapy jobs. But at the same time, I don't know if I've been real enough about like, maybe you shouldn't take a travel therapy job, or maybe it's time to stop. And that's like the advice I needed for myself, was like, girl, it's time to stop. Like your body's telling you to stop, your bank account's telling you to stop, like everything's telling you to stop. But I just kept on going, probably for way too many years. So it's been a year since I stopped travel, and when I stopped, a lot of people actually slid in my DMs and said like, hey, I never felt comfortable telling you this at the time, but I've actually been perm for a while and it's actually been really good and I've really enjoyed it. But I always felt like travel was like this cool kids group, and once you leave, like everybody judges you for it. So it's not something I wanted to talk about. Like those are the DMs I received when I stopped traveling. And I'm kind of like, this is crazy. Like, of course, do whatever feels right for you. And in my head, I was like, I'm gonna follow up with how my life is after travel. So it's been a year. It's been a year since I finished my last job, which I feel like is a good amount of time to judge the situation. Now it's really obvious looking back, but I didn't realize it at the time that travel therapy jobs was keeping my nervous system really dysregulated. So the constant not knowing if I was going to have a job, not knowing where my housing was, applying for jobs, moving, all that was keeping my nervous system really dysregulated. And I didn't realize it until I was settled, which is the crazy thing. So I started having IBS on my second travel therapy assignment, and it carried with me the entire 15 years I was traveling. And I tried everything. I went to GI doctors. I put everything into my diet, like every fiber, every food. I did every elimination diet and took every single food out of my diet at one point or another, and nothing helped. And within 1 month of being at home and stopping travel, it went away. And this is the most insane thing that I never anticipated happening, that just happened. And when it happened, I was like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And all I can chalk it up to is my nervous system just got really regulated being in a home with a job and not worrying about the future. And I didn't even realize how dysregulated my nervous system was until it was regulated. And now I honestly don't know if I could ever take a travel job again, to be honest. Like just seeing how much my body reacted positively to being in one place and stable, it's like literally crazy. So in speaking of my body, I look insanely good. Maybe I'll tap in some pictures of me when I was traveling for those of you who didn't know. But my body looks great and feels great. And when I say like I really didn't change my routine, like I'm not trying to gaslight you guys. I've been on and off with yoga for years. So I do yoga now like every day, but I've gone through periods in the past where I've done yoga every day too. Like it's up and down. So really like my food intake didn't change. My exercise didn't change. I lie, my food intake did change. The big thing is I don't eat like I'm on vacation. And within, I would say 3 or 4 months of being like home, I dropped 10 pounds. And again, I wasn't changing what I was eating for meals. That's like all the same. It's always been the same. what changed is like when somebody brings in a box of donuts to work, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna, eat a donut because this is a bakery I'm never gonna eat at again because I'm 3,000 miles away from home. So it's that like, that FOMO of like always eating like you're on vacation. Like when I just got back at home, like all of the kind of weight I was hanging on to that just didn't feel right for my body, like it left. And that's really all I can think that changed it, because I didn't necessarily make any big changes otherwise. So money, I know you guys are gonna jump in and be like, how the heck is your financial situation better when, I was public about making jobs like making $3,000 a week, like my paycheck was $3,000 a week. The biggest difference is stability and consistency. I'm on the West Coast. West Coast like pays the same as an average travel contract. So yeah, I'm not making $3,000 a week, but $3,000 a week is like your top tier high end travel contract that you're not gonna get every assignment. So I'm making the same money you would make at like a normal median travel contract, and I don't have to go weeks and months without work. Like the last year I was on the road, I was not able to consistently get assignments, and I was more skilled than ever. I had a better resume than ever, but I just wasn't able to line up jobs. And it's not that I was interviewing and not getting the interviews. My applications weren't getting accepted, and it made me even question if like these jobs are real. Like I was talking to other people who were applying for the same jobs and they weren't getting any calls. Like I'm wondering if they're hiring permanent instead of travelers, but still have the traveler position open. So money situation, like a lot better, because it's not this like ebb and flow where yeah, with travel you end up having a lot of money in your bank account, but then you could use that money to fund yourself for like the next month or two if you can't find a job. So the moral of this video is I'm doing really well, and I wanted to do a check-in of what life is like after travel. And it could have been bad. I could have been like, oh my God, I'm not doing well, I'm looking for my next assignment, but it's honestly not. It's exactly what I needed at this point in my life, and I don't regret all the travel I did. But I think the big take-home message for myself, and maybe you if you're watching this, is just know when it's time to stop, know when it's time to tap out. I see travel as a temporary thing, to be honest. Like it's very, very hard to sustain in the long term. I really tried, probably for many more years than I should have, but use it to your advantage in the short term. Use all the resources I have on my website and YouTube and everything, and yeah, have fun.